Welcome back to Metabolic Reboot 50 Plus, friends. If you're over 50 and feeling stuck eating well, moving more, but that stubborn belly fat just won't budge, this video is for you. You're not failing, your metabolism is simply playing by a new set of rules that most people don't understand. Here's the truth, after 50, your body's hormonal landscape shifts. It's not about eating less or working out harder anymore. The key player? Insulin resistance and disrupted hormone signals that silently block your fat burning and energy levels. You might even feel tired after meals or notice your cravings spike uncontrollably. This is your metabolism's way of telling you it needs a reset. That's where intermittent fasting comes in, a powerful, natural tool that helps reset your hormones, improve insulin sensitivity, and tap into your body's fat-burning mode. But it's not about skipping meals or punishing yourself. It's about working with your body's biology to regain control, boost energy, and finally lose that stubborn belly fat. Stick with me because today, we're going to uncover how intermittent fasting after 50 works differently and better for you. You'll get clear, practical strategies that don't rely on gimmicks or extremes but real, sustainable metabolic rebooting. Here's something most people don't tell you: your metabolism after 50 isn't just slower because of age. It's slower because your body's internal communication system, the hormones that tell your metabolism when to burn fat or store it, starts breaking down. This means your metabolism is less responsive to the signals that once kept your weight and energy in check. One of the biggest culprits is a drop in muscle mass, called sarcopenia. Muscle is metabolically active tissue, it burns calories even when you're resting. After 50, if you don't maintain your muscle, your resting metabolic rate naturally declines. But this is only part of the story. The more hidden villain is hormonal imbalance. Insulin is the hormone responsible for controlling blood sugar and signaling your body to store or burn fat. After 50, many people develop what's called insulin resistance. Your cells stop responding well to insulin's message. So instead of burning fat for energy, your body holds on to it, especially around the belly. This is why diets that worked in your 30s and 40s suddenly fail. Add to this the rise in cortisol, the stress hormone. Chronic, low-level stress is common after 50 due to life changes, work pressures, family demands, health concerns, and cortisol encourages your body to hang on to fat, especially visceral belly fat. It also disrupts sleep and energy, creating a vicious cycle of fatigue and weight gain. Then there's the decline in other important hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone that regulate metabolism, appetite, and fat distribution. When these hormones drop, appetite signals get confused. You might feel hungrier or have cravings at odd times, which only worsens insulin resistance and fat storage. Finally, your liver and mitochondria, the metabolic engines of your body, also slow down. The liver becomes less efficient at detoxifying and processing fats, while the mitochondria produce less energy. This combination further drags your metabolism down and makes you feel sluggish. The takeaway? Metabolic slowdown after 50 isn't just about eating less and moving more. It's about understanding that your metabolism is governed by a complex hormonal orchestra, and when these hormones fall out of sync, your body resists fat loss and energy stabilization. The good news? These changes are not irreversible. When you understand what's happening, you can adjust your lifestyle to reboot your metabolism. Strengthening muscle, balancing insulin through nutrition, managing stress to control cortisol, and supporting hormone health are your new rules for metabolic success after 50. These aren't just random tips, they're the science-backed foundation for all the metabolic strategies we'll explore next. When you respect your body's new hormonal reality, you unlock the path to lasting energy and fat loss. That's the shift from frustration to metabolic freedom. If you're feeling drained and hit with a heavy energy crash after lunch or mid-afternoon, you're not imagining it. This isn't just getting older, it's your hormones sending distress signals. The real culprits here are fluctuations in insulin, cortisol, and another lesser-known player, thyroid hormone. You've already learned how insulin resistance traps fat and disrupts energy use. But when insulin spikes unevenly, like after a carb-heavy meal, it causes blood sugar to surge and then plummet. That rapid drop is what triggers that crushing fatigue, brain fog, and cravings for more sugar or carbs. It's a vicious cycle. Your body demands quick energy fixes, but those only deepen insulin resistance over time. Next, let's talk cortisol, not just the villain that stores belly fat, but a hormone that controls your daily energy rhythm. Cortisol naturally peaks in the morning to wake you up and should decline steadily as the day progresses. But chronic stress, poor sleep, or inflammation can keep cortisol elevated all day, messing up this natural rhythm. Instead of feeling alert in the morning and relaxed in the evening, you get jittery, wired, or exhausted at the wrong times. This imbalance sabotages your metabolism because cortisol also influences how your body uses carbs and fat for fuel. Then, there's the thyroid, the master regulator of metabolism itself. After 50, thyroid function often declines subtly but significantly. Low thyroid slows down your metabolic rate, making you feel sluggish, cold, and foggy. The tricky part is that many people don't realize their thyroid is underperforming because symptoms overlap with normal aging. When thyroid hormones dip, energy production at the cellular level drops, making it harder to recover from exercise and manage stress. The combination of these hormonal shifts creates a perfect storm for energy crashes and metabolic slowdown. But here's the empowering truth: you can reset this system by targeting the timing and quality of your meals, managing stress proactively, and supporting thyroid-friendly habits. For example, stabilizing blood sugar with balanced meals that include protein, healthy fats, and fiber slows insulin spikes and prevents crashes. Incorporating simple stress relief techniques, deep breathing, gentle movement, or mindfulness helps keep cortisol in check. And supporting thyroid health with adequate iodine, selenium, and avoiding certain toxins can boost your metabolic engine. Understanding these hormonal patterns gives you the power to break free from fatigue and frustration. Instead of wondering why you're so tired or why your belly won't shrink, you'll start seeing your energy stabilize and your metabolism reboot. You're not at the mercy of these hormonal shifts, you can influence them with smart, sustainable choices. The key is working with your body's biology, not against it. And that's exactly what the new metabolic rules after 50 are all about. If you've tried all the diets and still struggle with stubborn belly fat and energy crashes, intermittent fasting, might feel like just another trend. But here's the truth: IF isn't a quick fix or a starvation tactic. It's a powerful reset for your metabolic clock, something that's often ignored after 50. Your metabolic clock is essentially the timing system that tells your body when to digest food, burn energy, and repair cells. After 50, this clock can become misaligned due to hormonal shifts, irregular eating patterns, and stress. When your clock gets out of sync, your metabolism becomes inefficient, burning fewer calories, storing more fat, and causing energy dips. Intermittent fasting works by giving your body a longer fasting window each day, which signals your metabolism to switch gears from storing fat to burning it. During this fasting period, insulin levels drop significantly, allowing your cells to become more sensitive to insulin again. This is key because insulin resistance after 50 traps fat and stalls energy. By lowering insulin regularly, it clears the metabolic fog and resets your body's ability to use fat as fuel. Beyond insulin, fasting also encourages a process called autophagy, your body's natural cleanup crew. Autophagy clears out damaged cells and rejuvenates your tissues, including your liver and mitochondria, which are critical for efficient metabolism and energy production. This cellular renewal is especially important after 50, when repair processes naturally slow down. But here's where most people get it wrong: it's not about fasting for long hours or skipping breakfast cold turkey. The new rules for IF after 50 emphasize starting with manageable fasting windows, like 12 to 14 hours overnight, and focusing on nutrient-dense meals during eating periods. This approach prevents cortisol spikes that can happen if your body perceives fasting as stress, which would otherwise sabotage your efforts. Pairing intermittent fasting with balanced meals rich in protein, healthy fats, and fiber stabilizes blood sugar and keeps hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin in check. This combination reduces cravings and supports steady energy throughout the day. Plus, when you fast consistently, your circadian rhythm, the internal clock governing sleep and metabolism, improves, helping you feel more rested and energized. The takeaway? Intermittent fasting after 50 isn't about deprivation, it's about timing. By syncing your eating patterns with your metabolic clock, you unlock your body's natural rhythm for fat burning, energy, and cellular renewal. It's a simple yet profound shift that rewires your hormones for lasting metabolic freedom. Remember, this is not about forcing your body into extremes. It's about gently nudging your metabolism back to its natural rhythm, one that supports fat burning, balanced energy, and cellular health. Intermittent fasting, done right, is your metabolic reset button after 50. And with this knowledge, you're already ahead of the curve. If you've been hesitant about intermittent fasting because you've heard it might be risky, especially after 50, you're not alone. There's a lot of misinformation out there that paints fasting as dangerous, stressful, or even harmful for older adults. Let's bust those myths right now. First, you've probably heard that fasting will cause muscle loss or slow your metabolism. The truth is exactly the opposite when done correctly. Short fasting windows, like 12 to 16 hours, actually protect your muscle mass by improving your body's hormone balance, especially by boosting growth hormone, which supports muscle repair and fat burning. That means fasting can help preserve the muscle you worked so hard to maintain, not break it down. Another common fear is that skipping meals leads to dangerous blood sugar drops, especially if you're managing prediabetes or insulin resistance. But here's the insider truth: fasting stabilizes blood sugar by reducing insulin spikes over time. With regular fasting, your body becomes more efficient at using fat for fuel instead of relying on constant carb intake. This reduces the roller coaster of highs and lows, making your energy more consistent, not precarious. Many worry that fasting increases stress and cortisol, adding fuel to the belly fat fire. But when fasting is done gradually and combined with proper nutrition and stress management, it actually lowers cortisol by improving your metabolic rhythm. Stress only spikes when fasting is extreme or inconsistent, something we never recommend here. You're learning the new rules for a balanced, sustainable approach. Let's also clear up the myth that fasting means you have to starve or cut out entire food groups. Absolutely not. Intermittent fasting is about when you eat, not what you eat. In fact, fasting works best paired with nutrient-dense, hormone-supporting foods. This means focusing on real, whole foods packed with protein, healthy fats, and fiber during your eating windows, food that fuels your metabolism rather than sabotages it. Finally, some believe fasting is only for younger people or athletes. But science shows that fasting can be even more beneficial as we age, helping to maintain cellular health, reduce inflammation, and improve metabolic flexibility, the ability to switch efficiently between burning carbs and fat. This flexibility is key to managing weight and energy after 50. So, to sum it up, intermittent fasting is not a fad or a risk, it's a scientifically supported, safe, and effective metabolic tool when tailored to your body's changing needs after 50. The power isn't in extreme fasting but in smart, consistent timing combined with balanced nutrition and stress control. Remember, knowledge is power. With the myths behind you, you're free to embrace intermittent fasting as a safe, effective tool to reclaim your metabolism, energy, and confidence. This is your metabolic reboot, done smart, done right, and designed just for you after 50. Now that you understand why intermittent fasting is a metabolic reset after 50, let's talk about the how, specifically, the fasting windows that work best to balance your hormones and keep your metabolism humming smoothly. Here's the thing, fasting isn't one size fits all, especially after 50. Your body is more sensitive to stress signals, so jumping into long fasts or extreme patterns can backfire, raising cortisol and actually making fat loss harder. The goal is to find fasting windows that gently encourage hormone harmony without triggering alarm bells in your system. The sweet spot for most people over 50 is a fasting window between 12 and 16 hours each day. Starting at 12 hours, say, finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and eating breakfast at 7 a.m. gives your body a natural overnight fast that supports insulin lowering and cellular repair. This window is manageable, sustainable, and unlikely to spike cortisol. If you're feeling good and want to challenge your metabolism a bit more, extending the fast to 14 or 16 hours can deepen those benefits. For example, a 16-hour fast might mean eating your last meal at 6 p.m. and breaking your fast at 10 a.m. This longer window further enhances fat burning and autophagy without risking muscle loss or stress if done consistently. But here's the new rule: listen to your body. If fasting beyond 14 hours causes irritability, fatigue, or hunger pangs that lead to overeating, dial it back. Your metabolism needs consistency, not extremes. A 12-hour fast every day is often more powerful than an occasional 18-hour fast that leaves you stressed. Also, timing matters. Align your fasting window with your natural circadian rhythm. Eating earlier in the day and fasting in the evening and overnight syncs with your body's internal clock, optimizing hormone release, digestion, and sleep quality. Avoid late-night meals that disrupt this rhythm and elevate cortisol when your body should be resting. Another important tip: during your eating window, focus on nutrient timing. Prioritize protein and healthy fats earlier in the day to stabilize blood sugar and reduce afternoon energy crashes. Filling your plate with fiber and low-glycemic vegetables helps control insulin spikes and keeps hunger hormones balanced. Remember, the best fasting window is the one you can sustain comfortably. It's about creating a rhythm your body trusts, one that signals safety, balance, and metabolic renewal. When you master the timing of your fasting and eating, you're no longer fighting your metabolism, you're working with it. This harmony resets insulin sensitivity, lowers cortisol, and balances hunger hormones. It's the foundation for lasting fat loss, energy, and well-being after 50. So, start simple. Experiment with a 12-hour fast, gradually increase if it feels good, and most importantly, keep it consistent. This approach rewires your metabolism without overwhelm, giving you a metabolic advantage others miss. With the right fasting window, you're not just managing weight, you're rebooting your entire hormonal system to reclaim your vitality. This is the new metabolic freedom designed specifically for your body after 50. If you're just starting intermittent fasting after 50, it's normal to feel a mix of excitement and uncertainty. The first few weeks are all about your body learning a new rhythm. This transition period can bring some surprising changes, both good and challenging, but knowing what to expect will keep you empowered and steady on your path. In the beginning, you might notice increased hunger at times you're used to eating. This is your body adjusting to longer periods without food and recalibrating hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin. Don't panic, these hunger signals usually peak around days 3 to 7 and then gradually settle as your body adapts. Drinking water, herbal teas, or black coffee can help manage these urges without breaking your fast. You may also experience shifts in your energy levels. Some days, you could feel a bit tired or foggy, especially if your previous eating patterns involved frequent snacking or high-carb meals. This fogginess is temporary and a sign that your metabolism is starting to switch from burning quick sugars to tapping into fat stores for steady energy. Within 1 to 2 weeks, many people report clearer thinking and more stable energy throughout the day. Another common experience is a mild headache or feeling a bit irritable, often linked to what's called fasting flu. This happens as your body detoxifies and adjusts to fewer insulin spikes. Staying hydrated and ensuring you get enough electrolytes like magnesium, potassium, and sodium can minimize these symptoms. Remember, these are short-term and signals you are rebooting your system. Weight changes in the first weeks can be encouraging but vary widely. Initial weight loss is often water weight, your body releasing stored glycogen, and not just fat loss. This is a good sign your insulin levels are dropping, but don't expect dramatic fat loss right away. Sustainable metabolic change takes consistent fasting and balanced nutrition over several weeks. Mentally, you might feel a boost in confidence as you start reclaiming control over your eating habits. However, some days you might face cravings or emotional triggers tied to old patterns. This is normal. Mindful awareness and gentle self-compassion will help you stay on track without judgment. The key takeaway? Your first weeks are the foundation for lasting metabolic reboot. The discomforts are temporary, the benefits compound, and each day you're retraining your metabolism to work smarter, not harder. This is your metabolic awakening after 50. During this period, it's crucial to listen to your body without pushing extremes. If fasting feels overwhelming, shorten your fasting window or add a small nutrient-dense snack. Flexibility is part of respecting your unique metabolic needs. Avoid comparing yourself to others, your journey is personal and perfectly valid. By the end of the first month, you'll likely notice steadier energy, reduced cravings, and even some inches lost around your belly. These early wins are just the start of your metabolic freedom, a new chapter where your body responds to smart timing and balanced nutrition. Remember, you're not just fasting, you're rewiring your metabolism for a healthier, more energetic life after 50. This knowledge turns frustration into confidence, and patience into lasting metabolic success. Keep going, you're building a new, stronger foundation every day. If you've made it this far, you already know that intermittent fasting and hormone-friendly nutrition are game changers after 50. But here's the truth, lasting metabolic reboot doesn't come from one single tactic. It's about the small, consistent habits that support your body's reset every day without overwhelm or extremes. First, let's talk hydration. Drinking enough water might feel basic, but after 50, staying hydrated plays a deeper role in metabolism than you realize. Water helps your liver flush out toxins and supports digestion, which is crucial for managing fat and blood sugar. Aim for steady hydration throughout the day. Herbal teas and infused water count, too. Avoid sugary drinks and even excess caffeine, which can disrupt cortisol and insulin balance. Next up, move gently but daily. You don't need intense workouts to reboot metabolism. Walking, stretching, and light resistance exercises are your best friends. These activities help maintain muscle mass, improve insulin sensitivity, and lower stress hormones. Consistency matters more than intensity. Even a 20-minute walk after meals improves blood sugar control and calms cortisol spikes from daily stress. Another habit that's often overlooked is prioritizing sleep hygiene. Quality sleep is a metabolic cornerstone. Poor sleep raises insulin resistance and cortisol, worsening belly fat and fatigue. Make your bedroom a sanctuary, cool, dark, and quiet. Try to keep a regular sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time even on weekends. Avoid screens an hour before bed, and consider calming rituals like reading or gentle stretching to wind down. Mindful eating also supports your metabolic reset profoundly. Slow down, savor each bite, and listen to your hunger signals. This practice helps rebalance hunger hormones like leptin and ghrelin, reducing overeating and cravings. Eating without distractions, no TV or phones, improves digestion and helps your body recognize fullness cues more efficiently. Finally, managing daily stress with simple techniques is non-negotiable. Chronic stress fuels cortisol and insulin resistance, the twin villains behind stubborn belly fat. Incorporate stress breaks into your day, whether it's deep breathing, meditation, journaling, or even a few minutes of gratitude. These small moments reset your nervous system, lower cortisol, and protect your metabolism from sabotage. Remember, these habits aren't about perfection, they're about steady, daily support that rewires your metabolism over time. When you combine smart fasting and nutrition with hydration, movement, sleep, mindful eating, and stress relief, you create a holistic metabolic environment where fat loss, energy, and health flourish. This is your new metabolic foundation after 50, a lifestyle that honors your body's unique needs and gives you control back. No crash diets, no confusion, just simple, sustainable habits guiding you toward metabolic freedom. If you've made it this far, you're already on your way to metabolic freedom. But here's the key truth, intermittent fasting isn't just a temporary fix, it's a lifestyle shift. The goal is to build a fasting routine that fits naturally into your life, supports your unique metabolism, and feels good every day. Without sustainability, all the benefits fade and frustration returns. One of the biggest mistakes is treating fasting like a rigid rulebook instead of a flexible tool. After 50, your body's signals matter more than ever. Some days your fasting window might be longer, other days shorter, and that's okay. The secret is tuning into hunger cues, energy rhythms, and stress levels, then adjusting your fasting accordingly. This intuitive approach keeps cortisol balanced and prevents burnout. For example, if you're feeling unusually stressed or tired, it might be a sign to shorten your fast or add a nourishing snack. On days you feel energized and calm, extending your fast slightly can deepen metabolic benefits. This back-and-forth flexibility builds trust with your body rather than triggering a fight or flight response. Another practical tip is to anchor your fasting routine around enjoyable daily rituals. Maybe it's savoring a calming morning tea during your fast, or taking a mindful walk before your first meal. These small habits create positive associations with fasting, transforming it from a chore into a lifestyle rhythm that supports mental and physical well-being. Social life and family meals can also be a challenge. The new rule here is to prioritize your fasting schedule but don't let it isolate you. Plan your fasting windows around social events when possible, and remember that occasional flexibility won't undo your progress. This mindset frees you from the all-or-nothing trap and reduces anxiety around eating times. Lastly, keep refining your eating windows with nutrient-dense, satisfying meals that honor your metabolism's needs after 50. When your meals truly nourish you, fasting becomes easier and cravings diminish. Think of fasting and eating as partners working in harmony, not opposing forces. By embracing flexibility, ritual, and mindful nutrition, intermittent fasting becomes more than a tool, it becomes a sustainable, empowering lifestyle. This is how you turn metabolic knowledge into lasting freedom, where your body, mind, and hormones align naturally. Remember, you're not chasing perfection, you're cultivating a relationship with your metabolism that evolves with you. That's the real metabolic reboot after 50. Smart, kind, and lasting. We've busted the biggest myth today: intermittent fasting after 50 isn't about starving yourself, losing muscle, or risking your health. The truth is exactly the opposite. When done right, with balanced meals, manageable fasting windows, and stress control, it's a safe, powerful way to reset your metabolism and hormones. This isn't a quick fix or punishment, it's a smart, science-backed strategy that works with your body's new rules after 50. Remember, your body isn't broken. It's playing by a different set of hormonal signals now, and that means the old eat less, move more advice simply doesn't cut it anymore. But now, you have the playbook. You know how insulin resistance, cortisol, and your metabolic clock affect your energy and fat storage. And you have the tools to gently reboot your system, reclaim your energy, and finally lose that stubborn belly fat. If you're ready to stop the frustrating diet cycle and start working with your body, not against it, subscribe and join us here at Metabolic Reboot 50+. This journey is about empowerment, clarity, and results that last. Now, tell us, what's one healthy food or habit you discovered was actually holding you back? Share your insights in the comments below. Let's bust these myths together and support each other on the path to metabolic freedom.